All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a sport that's way more than just grunting and throwing around heavy weights. We're going to peel back the layers on something that's as much about surgical precision as it is raw power. This is the art and the science of Olympic weightlifting.
So, when you picture Olympic weightlifting, what comes to mind? Probably just sheer brute strength, right? Like the person who can muscle up the most weight is the winner. End of story. But what if I told you that's barely scratching the surface? That what we think we know is just a tiny piece of the puzzle?
The reality? It's way more dynamic. It's not just about being strong. It's this incredible blend of explosive power, lightning-fast speed, and almost perfect precision. Think about that. All three of those things have to come together in a split second for a lift to even count.
So yeah, it's definitely more than just brute force. Let's really dig into what makes this sport such a surprisingly sophisticated discipline. Okay, so here's the official breakdown. And you'll notice the word strength isn't even the first thing mentioned. It's about combining power, speed, flexibility, and precision. The goal sounds simple, right? Get the barbell from the floor to over your head. But the how? Well, that's where things get incredibly technical. And that how really comes down to mastering two core lifts. These two movements, they're everything in this sport. First up, you've got the snatch. This thing it's just one single continuous explosive movement. The bar goes from the floor to overhead in the blink of an eye. It's so fast, so demanding. A lot of people say it's the most technical lift in any sport. Then you have the clean and jerk. This one's more like a two-act play. First, you clean the bar to your shoulders, then you jerk it overhead. It's a whole different beast. Let's look a little closer at that clean and jerk. Part 1, the clean. That's the huge effort to pull the barbell from the floor up onto your shoulders. You got to catch it, get stable. Then you take a breath, regroup, and launch into part 2, the jerk. That's that powerful dip and explosive drive to punch the weight straight up overhead. It's just a brutal combination of raw power and pinpoint coordination. So, what does it actually take to build an athlete who can do this? Well, this is where we get into the science of it all. This kind of training builds a completely different type of athlete. It hammers those fast twitch muscle fibers, the ones you need for sprinting, jumping, any explosive movement. So by moving heavy weight fast, you're not just getting strong. You're building an absolutely rock-solid core, you're making your joints healthier and more resilient, and you're gaining this incredible sense of total body control. And this quote really nails the key difference. Think about your typical gym workout, right? You might do some bicep curls, isolating one muscle. But an Olympic lift, there's no isolation. It forces your entire body, literally from your toes to your fingertips, to fire all at once as a single coordinated machine. It is the ultimate test of functional strength. But all that science, all that raw power, it means absolutely nothing if the technique is sloppy. And this, my friends, is where the science gives way to the art. Let me just say this as clearly as I can. Technique is everything. In many cases, it's even more important than how strong you are. I mean, you could be the strongest person in the world, but if your form is off, that barbell is going nowhere. Or worse, it's going somewhere dangerous. And getting that technique right, well, it doesn't happen overnight. We are talking about thousands, literally thousands of hours of practice. And a lot of that time isn't even spent lifting super heavy. It's just drilling the movements over and over and over again until they become second nature, like breathing. It's a long, long road to perfection. So how do they even do it? It's this whole toolkit of refinement. They spend tons of time with lighter weights just grooving the pattern into their muscle memory. They're absolutely obsessive about video analysis, watching their lifts frame by frame to find any tiny flaw. And they are deeply committed to flexibility and mobility work, because if your body can't get into the right positions, you can't lift the weight safely. Okay, so we've got the science of the body and the art of the movement, but there's one more piece, and it might just be the most important one of all, the mind. Because you can have the strongest body in the room and the most beautiful technique, but if your head's not in the game, if your focus breaks for just a split second, the lift is over. It's a failure. This is where the real battle is won. So what's in this mental toolkit? Well, first, you need intense, laser-like concentration to block out every single distraction. Then you need resilience, because you will fail lifts and you have to be able to shake it off and get back on the platform.
You need the ability to handle insane amounts of pressure. And finally, you have to have the confidence, the sheer belief to see yourself making the lift before you even touch the barbell.
When you put it all together, it's pretty clear this is a sport unlike any other. It's this amazing blend of strength, skill, and strategy. It truly is, where the science of building a powerful body meets the art of perfecting a complex movement. It pushes the absolute limits of what a person can do.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Maybe the real test of strength isn't just about how much weight is on the bar. Maybe, just maybe, the ultimate test is about how perfectly you can lift it. Something to consider. Thanks for watching.